We're doing our thing, making sure everything is correct. It looks like it. Mic is working. We're here. Am I a little laggy? I hope not. Well, we do this. Test. Everything's working. A little spoiler for what's going on here in the stream, but welcome. Everyone's another Friday, another week, a insane week, at least for me. I'm getting back into the swing of things after being out of town last week, and stuff's moving around. I'm home alone. People who are usually in the they usually are in the rest of the house, all gone. It's just me and my dog. He's outside. Hopefully he'll be fine for the whole stream, but we'll kind of see. So if I'll have to go, excuse me. But we're here. We're doing our thing. Looking at figures. I've just been busy, as always. But another Friday. Another week to look at cool, awesome figures. So yeah. I guess if we want to get started, because I gotta... Oh yeah. And then also tomorrow, I have to get up super early, so... So we're gonna try to get this going. Make sure my lights are positioned correctly. Looking at me. Excuse me, light. It's very bright. I shouldn't be looking directly at that, but in any case, we're here. We're doing our thing, and you know, we kind of edited the wall a bit. I got plans. I'm gonna extend probably another column here. I got more command hooks, but for right now I'm putting the Marvel Legends Legacy collection. Legends Legacy Black Panther. This is like the full like vibranium, where he has like the purple throughout the costume and even on the mask. I just still have that in box. I don't know why. It feels like a thing like for Chadwick Boseman. You know, he passed away and he's a cool actor. And he was perfect for the role. And I already have like the regular T'Challa figure, like the same mold as that, but without all the stuff. And then I picked up that and I was like, you know what? Just for now, for a while, I'm going to just keep it in the box. Because it's just a nice little display thing, even though it's been in storage for a bit. But it's out now because I'm going to be putting more stuff up here. So hopefully next week I'll be able to get to that. It'll be nice to add more stuff on the wall. But it's mainly like I got to get over to this space. So it's a whole stuff instead of you just looking at me and I have to be like, don't see this blank, see the toys. But even though I sit right here because I want you to see little Enderman and Bowser, we got Mario and Steve, but mainly want to see Bowser too. Kind of this is the angle I should really go with. But in any case, we're here. As I say, we're doing our thing. You know, if you're enjoying the rambling so far, we're going to be looking at our weekly pickups in a minute, but if you're enjoying the chaos you're already seeing within the first 3 minutes, be sure to like, you know, this live stream if you're here live or if you're here after the math. You know, be sure to like, be sure to comment what you want to see on the channel. I'm kind of slowly trying to plan out to do more than just live streams. I know I did a video a couple weeks ago. That's doing pretty okay. I have to check it out again. It's been so long. I've been just busy this whole week. It's been a long week. I've just been working nonstop. But you know, what am I thinking? Yeah, but I want to just see more suggestions. I always like seeing suggestions and even like your guys' ideas. Like in the latest live stream, I just got a comment the other day about someone wanting to maybe do a Star Killer custom based off of the SH Figure Arts Darth Vader as like a base. I was like, okay, that might work. Might have to work around like the actual like the plastic sculpting, but it's something to do. So, oh yeah, and then I did also, speaking of the Darth Vader, I did want to show off something I did kind of work on this week, just a little project for myself to kind of like piece together what's my perfect, my Darth Vader for the shelf. So, for that, I kind of pieced together, so where I got the SH Figure Arts Darth Vader that I have, and I put the Hasbro soft goods, both the cape and the little draping kind of skirt piece there. But then I switched out to the alternate, cut off right hand on there, and then put on the unmasked kind of Anakin Skywalker head there to have this look for Vader on the shelf. Because why would I just have just one Vader when I can have two? So I put him in this form, and then then as my ultimate, like my main shelf, like my front shelf Vader, at least for now, is the New Hope Star Wars Black Series with the custom, the cape, and also like the little skirt pieces on there, and then also with the SH Figure Arts lightsaber there. Yeah, this one does have the glow, that stop motion Rob put on there, and then also I switched out this hand with the SH Figure Arts kind of open hand. It does kind of like just loosely kind of like sitting there, but it does kind of hold on, so it's not just gonna, well, it kind of flops around there. But if you don't move it too much and get it into a right position, kind of push it up, you can get it looking pretty good. So this has been kind of, he's going to be my main shelf Vader. I think he looks pretty badass. I do still want to pick up, my plan is to get, hopefully at some point, I think it's the Black Series Empire Strikes Back Vader. I think that one is my personal favorite look of Vader. Specifically, it's like for Black Series and kind of what I feel like he should look like. I can put all this custom stuff on him too, so it might be an easy swap. So we'll kind of see. And then it also has the new like articulation pieces and everything. So this might be something to see more of. Hopefully more Vaders, more Star Wars. I was gonna maybe do another Star Wars, but I was like, I need to do something different. Not Turtles, not Marvel, not Star Wars. I do those three all the time. But what's wrong with those? Those are fun, but I just have to plan out my spending and do it for the content, essentially. Which is what we did here today. For the content. But yeah, but that's just a little update on those Darth Vaders. So they're going to be going on the shelf like that. I still have to get to my Star Wars shelf. I haven't been able to work on it so all my Star Wars figures are just kind of in the shelf, not really organized. They're just thrown on top of each other, as I can see. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Hopefully we'll have time this week to kind of get to it. I was going to try this weekend, but I'm like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't have time. I don't have time in any of my days to be doing it because I got to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday is like my one day off, but I got D&D with my friends, so that kind of takes up a bit of time in the beginning of the day, but it's a great time. Social interaction. Do stuff with people, with your friends, actual friends, please. All right, but we're gonna finally move on to what I call like my actual main segment is the weekly pickups. So I did pick up 2 items today. Yesterday, I did get these yesterday, but but spoilers. The second item is the thing we're reviewing. So it's in there, but it's on the live stream. But the main thing that I'm kind of actually more excited about, but even though I want to look at the set, this one I picked up over at Target is the G.I. Joe retro carded Cobra Viper. Excuse me. Woo. Yeah, a little bit of a sneeze, but we got the Cobra Viper. Honestly, a figure I was kind of looking forward to, but at the same time, not really. It's a figure that hasn't really crossed my mind, but when I just saw it in the store there, I was like, that's badass. I need to get that. And I got it. I can't believe it was there. It was him and rock and roll, but not that guy. Excuse me. So yeah, so I'll definitely have to get him. I have their first rock and roll, the classified one that has like the tattoos and more kind of, I guess, kind of, I don't know. It's just a different look. His head sculpt, I think, is a little different, but I think I like I'm fine with the classified one. I like these retros, but not all of them are the ones you need. But I do need him. So I gotta get him. I got a Cobra Viper. Might need a second one at some point. Maybe even just having just the one. I kind of think of him as more of a special ops, but even on the back here, because I read the thing, Cobra Infantry, so they're kind of like the backbone, highly motivated, superbly trained, and formidably equipped. You want to get anywhere in Cobra, you start at the bottom as a Viper. Cobra doesn't reward success with parades and medals. They offer material, wealth, power, and outlet for terrible urges. What a bio. Spoilers for the bio. Whenever we do the stream of this guy, I have to do two. Or maybe we'll wait till we get him and we can do a double stream. Because I like doing doubles with the retros. Unless we just want to do him by himself. Because he looks pretty cool by himself. But in any case, nice pickup. Need to get maybe a second one. Probably not a third one. I need more of like actual soldiers. That's who I need. And I have seen that before at Walmart. I think it's still there. It might be one, but we might have to get Lab in this. But I would want two Cobra soldiers than anything. I like the Viper. The Viper's really cool. And I have a classified Cobra soldier, like their first one where it came with like a bunch of stuff. Kind of feel like I need more of those, but I might just get just the regular soldiers, get a couple of those, maybe 4 if I'm able, and then just stick with like 1 or 2 Vipers, and then have them one other one. But I do like this Viper, so yeah, so I might get 2 just to see, just to have it, just to do a pair, because it's nice to have a pair of figures instead of just one. I was like, he needs a buddy. Such a stupid excuse. Other reason to buy toys. And they would look cool. Because they're soldiers. You kind of need 1 or 2 of a soldier. If not, I guess 1 is okay if you can manage that and if you can, fit that. But, it's up to you. I think I need 2. I'll get 2. Well, I'll get 1. Give me 2. I don't need 2 more because that'll just be 3, and then I'll just might as well get a 4th one, if anything. But I'm going to do that for the soldiers, so that's 4. So that's already enough. All right, enough rambling on. We're already 13 minutes in, and we do want to get into this stream here, into the actual unboxing. So yeah, so I think we're going to scoot up a bit. I'm excited for this. It's something we haven't done yet on the channel. It's a new kind of platform, at least for my audience. And we all know what pro wrestling is. We all know what Mattel does with them. They do the ultimates. They do like the regular, do the basics, do like main event, I think that they're called too, like on the toy line as well. And then also like legacy or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm messing with my mustache too much. But in any case, I think we're going to switch our camera over. We're going to look at these 2 figures. We're going to get my camera excuse me. We're going to switch over. There they are. Beautiful boys. WWE Mattel. Is this okay? Is it going to be a good view? I guess we're just going to have to see. I'm just going to keep it like this. The WWE, well, we'll do it like this. This is the WWE Ultimate Edition. Mattel's is Mattel's WWE Ultimate Edition Coliseum Collection 2-pack of Ted DiBiase and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Now, of course, this is just the side of it. I kind of like having it like this, at least for now, just to kind of show up. You have your classic, your WWE logo. Of course, it was the WWF, but they can't do that anymore because, you know, the Pandas won, and that's kind of cool. Hate that. Corporate America, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, but you have a nice little, like, a red kind of here, I guess, to kind of like symbolize that the heel. That is like the image of Ted DiBiase on here on the right. Nice little image of him, spinning image. And then you have Ricky Steamboat, kind of in a more other look there, and then he's in like the blue where you have the white line there, but he has like the blue and it's like the triangle there. So at least for Ricky, we're gonna look back here where on the back of the box, I can get camera to look a little bit. It's a big box. I'll be honest, it's a pretty sizable box. That is it fully in frame. There we go. Yeah. This as close as we can. There we go. So yeah, so here's the back of the box that has Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. They did have like the tag here. Oh, and also I picked this up at Ollie's, by the way, for a very good price. We'll look at it in a second, but their tag was like right there. I'm like, put it at the bottom, and that's where I put it. But yeah, so we got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Nice little artwork here. As you can see, it's kind of like a printed kind of piece, so it's actually like reflects the light, so it looks more significant there. Has the WWE logo and has like a white border on there. And then on the other side, we have nice little image of Ted DiBiase. Has a red outline and also has the WWE Ultimate Edition logo with the little Mattel logo there. So nice little thing. And of course, it's like, they're in their respective outfits and colors as they are on the side. Except for Ricky, he's got his shirt off and everything, so that's pretty cool. But then on the other side, just have your Ultimate Edition logo there and your Mattel Creations. And it's in like a little, like a box, kind of open up thing. So that's kind of cool. I think that is our opening, or is this? I guess it's the other way. But then at the top of the box, you have everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man, which is his catchphrase, the Ted DiBiase's catchphrase. And then on the back, on the bottom, got Ricky there, and his says, "The dragon is ready to breathe fire." And then we have the little thing too where it's like, "For adult collector, this product is for adult collectors and not intended for children under 14 years of age. 2024 Mattel." We have the little, like the authentic little sticker, the holographic sticker for the WWE. And then we also have our Ollie's price here. It was like 24, but they have like a thing going on, so it was about like 20, like almost $22. So pretty good for a box set that's usually like, I think like 50, maybe 60. So yeah, so they have like a ton of these. So maybe check out your Ollie's if you got one. See if they got this guy and this. But I think we're gonna get our box up here like this. That looks like how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to kind of sit in there. I just want to do straight on. I'm trying to see what's the best way I can do this. Well, I guess I'm just gonna hold on. I just stand it up, have you? You look at me do this, and yeah, and then there is no tape. You can just straight up open it, I think, with just this tab. this side. Or you can probably open it either way, but I'm doing it on this way. And then, yeah, and also in there you have a classic WWE logo there, so that's kind of nice. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Nice little insert. That's very cool. Oh, okay. And so then here, when you open up the actual box, have a little, your insert here has a lot of fans in there, probably with people who actually modeled for this. Probably a lot of them, it looks like it. Kind of through like an art filter. There are some where it's just like, yeah, that's just two guys, yeah, just plastered on there with a filter probably. But it all looks pretty good. And yeah, then they have a little signs, $1 Million Man and Enter the Dragon. And this, and here, what is this? Okay, so first we have the $1 Million Man figure here in its box. Looking pretty good, has all of its accessories down there. Very neat, but also comes with little insert, I guess, to kind of like protect them. But that's a very nice little art piece to have, where it's the Coliseum collection kind of background. So where these are based off of some of like the original toys, has a WWE wall logo, so you can use that for stuff if you wanted to. So I guess this is based off of, okay, so yeah, so for my assumption, this is based off of like one of like the original, like the toy lines, I believe the LJN, based on the packaging where you have the actual figure in there, and then you have the art there, and then you have Ricky, Mr. Steamboat. And so this was supposed to only open this way, so that kind of makes sense. And then you got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. We're going to move our box. Beautiful box. Nice presentation. Oh. So it does not open the other way, it's just on that one. So it makes sense. Box is over there, but there's Ricky. Same kind of packaging there. This one is the, oh yeah, this one is the blue. Forget that they had a, yeah, I assume they had a black version when they first released these or something. Yeah, I remember that there was like a black carded version. Because, you know, because in the history, because there was also black cards, I think, as well as the blue. Well, look at them. Look at these awesome looking figures. Looking pretty neat. We got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He's got all his accessories down there. I believe so, unless they're like packed. He's heavy. He's pretty heavy too, but I'm not sure. Accessories included inside. Accessories included inside. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go over the packaging first. I think we're gonna do Ted, because he's kind of, I guess, kind of like the front runner of this. Technically, I think it's technically Ted DiBiase, because he's in the front. He's on the main, like the cover with the Ultimate Edition, because you know he was the $1 Million Man. He was the dude. But yeah, we're gonna try to get this going here. I might need to hold up. Excuse me. Move this camera back a bit. Need some space. Actually, have some wiggle room in here. We'll move this back, but it'll take some time. Yeah, but here's our packaging here. So where we have the Coliseum collection name up there, I'm gonna lose my mind. But yeah, but where we have the Coliseum collection name up there, have the WWE Classic logo, retro, vintage, whatever you want to call it. And you have the nice little artwork of Ted DiBiase. My carding kind of front there is kind of all scratched, so that kind of sucks, but oh well. And then you have more people on the back there. And then you have the window with the figure here, and does have a little like a rope or kind of like chain kind of design embedded into the thing. I think that's supposed to be like the ring ropes. I would assume so. I really got no idea, but nice little figure to show off Ted DiBiase there. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Mine does have a little spot on his nose, but hopefully we can fix that. And then we have the WWE Ultimate Edition logo there, and that's silver. Very nice. Have the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase nameplate there. Accessories included inside. Accessories included inside. Have a little thing there. Gabe, hello, long time no see. Welcome to the live stream. We're doing some WWE Coliseum Collection Ultimate Edition figures from Mattel. Hope you've been doing well, Gabe. Thank you for joining. But yeah, and then on the back here does give you a little thing of what's going on here. So you have the Ultimate Edition logo there. Ultimate. So yeah, it's a little rundown. Gabe says nice. Nice, Gabe. But yeah, a nice little rundown of what the Ultimate action figure line is. Have your retro WWE logo. Has your Coliseum Classic, like your little bio cutout that that you could do. Yeah, with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Accessories included is the $1 Million Championship, soft good, suit, fanned out money, swappable heads, and swappable hands. Twist them, turn them, battle them. The Ultimate Collection. So where we have Ted DiBiase here, we got Ricky here, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Have Roddy Rowdy Piper. Have George the Animal Steel, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Jake the Snake, Rick Rude, Hulk Hogan, and who is that? Is that Terry Funk? He was like Cowboy Bob or something, whatever. I forget what it was. But Gabe asks, have you watched season 3 of Squid Game? I have not, Gabe. I don't even think that a season 3 is out. I think it's only been 2 seasons. But if they have made a new season, I won't be surprised. But I have not watched any Squid Game, Gabe. Megan says, hi, I got some toys today. Cool, Megan. What did you get? I also got some toys. It came out today. Okay, Gabe. Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. I really just haven't had time to even really get into Squid Game. Hopefully at some point, but as of right now, really. But yeah, nice little packaging here, and especially how they're doing the covers here. But we'll look at that in a second, because then we got Ricky here. Has the same kind of just like the basic details, but has his image on there, his little can this focus? But they have his drawing there in the back, have the same people. Well, actually, no, it's actually a different set of people, so nice. Either I think it looks bad, you want to watch that crap. Well, okay. Well, Squid Game, it looks all right. I just have to actually watch it at some point. I don't think it looks like crap. I think it looks pretty well made, but I just haven't had the time to get to it. But we had the actual figure here. And his accessories are, I think, under here. So same thing. Accessories included. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Everything. Gabe says it's good. I hope so. I can only hope so. Because I haven't seen it yet, but I bet it is. Yeah, my parents have seen it, but I haven't. Because they actually watch stuff. But Gabe says it's emotional at times. I'm not surprised by that. It looks like a very intense show. There's a lot of bad word bothers me. Well, I get that, Megan. Because you're probably not all there yet, so. That makes sense. But Ultimate Edition, as in, you're probably not ready for that kind of content, Megan. So you need to watch that. But we have the Ultimate WWE action figure rundown, have the retro WWE logo, have the accessories included, which is the soft goods gi and belt, headband, swappable heads, and swappable hands. The Coliseum Collection with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, little cutout there, has the bio, where he's from, and all that stuff. I didn't even really go down that way when it came to Dibiase, but he has all his stuff too. And they have their things and what they do in the ring and what their characters are. So pretty nice, pretty cool. What are y'all saying? Gabe says, yeah, it's pretty violent. And Megan says, I got some Superwoman toys and a Minecraft toy. I'm allowed. Okay, that's fine. But cool. Hope you enjoy those toys you got, Megan. Yeah. All right, but I think we're gonna go ahead, get these guys open, not delay too much. I think I'm gonna. Who do we want to do first? Do we want to do Ted or do we want to do Ricky? Who we want to do? I'm kind of I'm kind of feeling Ted because I feel like Ricky will kind of surprise me. But Ricky, I'm not really that familiar with. I really liked, at least like the one like full Ricky the Steamboat match I have watched was him and Macho Man at WrestleMania 3. Was it? I think it was 3 because that was when Hogan slammed Andre, and that was on the same show. Yeah, I don't know if this is his WrestleMania look. I don't know. Should I do season 3? Says Megan. I don't know. That's up to you. Really. Technically, I'm asking about my figures. Which one do y'all want to see first? Ted DiBiase, Ricky the Dragon, Steamboat, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Ricky the Dragon, Steamboat. Might go the $1 Million Man. Just for simplicity, just to go, well, might do Ricky first. I think Ricky might be a fun kind of like, okay, let's get our hands on these toys. Let's do stuff. Let's swap around. It might be easier. So I think we're gonna do Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and then we're gonna get to DiBiase. In the end, some Sonic toys you have. Megan, I do not have Sonic toys. We're looking at these today. This is what the show's about. I don't have any Sonic toys. None yet, but we're gonna open up Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And so with this, they have actual plastic lining on the side here and at the bottom. So instead of having to like actually cut this out, all you got to do is just slide out this little insert. We get the Hiya Toys Evolved Godzilla, asks Gabe. I'm not really sure. I haven't really been too much into like all like the newer MonsterVerse stuff. I'm kind of early on MonsterVerse specific myself. Nice little shell there. We'll move that over here. Right there. This back there. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, but I might get it. I might get the evolved Godzilla. I just really have to see. Cause I don't know. Okay. Because right now, because when it comes to Godzilla, I kind of want to focus on my Showa shelf, if that makes sense. I kind of want to finish off that whole thing. But Gabe says the next movie is in 2027. I think that's right. Yeah, because they did announce like that newer one. But but I'm planning on doing. Probably at some point, I definitely want to get the SH Figuarts, the new Anguirus that they have. That one looks really cool. I need to get it. I need it for my Godzilla. And then I already have the Gigan, and then with them announcing the King Ghidorah, I might go for that. I don't know. Depends on how stupid expensive it is. Because if it's really, really expensive, I'm just gonna wait on the Hiya. Gabe says, yeah, the SH Monster Arts are super expensive, way too expensive. So that's my worry with this new King Ghidorah is that they're not going to be dropping that price. They're not going to make that a decent price. It's just going to be like $300, $400. I'm like, oh no, I shall pass, sir. But then, compared to Hiya, where they can do like a better figure at like 100, it's not that hard. You guys can do it. And you've done it before. Just do better. Yeah, but Megan also says, yes, I do have some Sonic figures, but they're not coming out. They're going to stay on the shelf because they're far away. And you've seen them before plenty, Megan, because I've done 2 streams of Sonic. Pretty good for me. And then Megan also says the next Sonic movie is going to be in 2027. In 2027, wow. Both of those? Wow. Going to be a crazy year. And Gabe says their Shimo is 4 times the price of Haya. Yeah, and even 4 times crappier too. So that's the thing. Yeah, that's like the thing with it. I'm like, yeah, I might just wait for Haya. I know that everyone's kind of high on it right now, but I'm like, Anguirus I can get. I think I can justify getting him for the price. Maybe if I can get him for a little bit cheaper, is probably preferable. That's how I got the Godzilla. I got him for like, I feel like retail price, which is still pretty expensive. It's decent. It's fun. Yeah, but if I can get that classic Anguirus, at some point that would be preferable, because that's like the one I think I need. But when it comes to like more Godzillas, I think another one I do need is a new Shin Godzilla. I need to get the SH Monster Arts, their latest Shin Godzilla where he was like more red. I need to get that one, but if I want to make one, I wouldn't say no to it. I would quite enjoy a Haya Shin Godzilla. I think that they could do a pretty good job. I mean, just look at what they are doing with the Monster Art stuff. Like, no doubt they can do a good Shin Godzilla. No doubt in my mind, they can do a pretty decent one. And I want to move. That right there. Excuse me. I'm adjusting my lighting, trying to make it a little bit better for y'all down here. So yeah, but here's Ricky and all his plastic shell glory, and here's all his. Oh, it's all in here, but nothing. It's moving around because you got. Oh, they actually have a whole little thing of like a tray. I was not expecting that. I was just kind of expecting it all to just be thrown in there. Ricky's thing was on there, but here's his little shell of accessories with hands and heads. And then you have his belt and his gi in there too. Very nice. We'll get Ricky out. Whoa. Mr. Steamboat. There we go. Oh, Ricky. Okay. There's our plastic. That can go away. There's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat straight out of the packaging. We're going to get him. Try to get him in a more neutral stance. His shoulders are kind of big. I'll be honest. They look kind of weird. But there's our Ricky Steamboat. And honestly, I don't think the likeness is really too bad. Even like compared to like the drawing. This is actually pretty spot on. The hair, I think is more realistic. It's more messier. It's just more kind of down. But I do like the all black bandana. I believe that is a separate piece, technically. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, so that's a full separate piece. So you can even have him without it, even though it makes his forehead look kind of long. But nice little thing that you can do there. But nice sculpt there, of course. Nice digital printing that they've been doing here. The actual body sculpt isn't really that bad at all. Super musculature, kind of a little bit more exaggerated, I think. Crazy abs on Ricky there, but have your butterflies, have your pinless arms there. A little basic, kind of smooth, not really that much, and then kind of okay. Yeah, so with these smaller shoulders, it does kind of look long armed. It's kind of like his arms like almost go Well, do they kind of go down? Because they're just kind of like jutting out a bit is really like the main problem. I kind of wish that they would have them go a little further down if it was able, but oh. Oh, hey, Gabe. But Gabe says, I wish NECA still had the license to Godzilla. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice if they did have it because, like, okay. I feel like this is kind of the thing. It's like once, but once they were like about like to lose that license, like, their last few figures were actually like pretty good. Like I do enjoy their Tokyo SOS Godzilla. I think that one is like their closest, I think, to perfect one they've done. I do also like what is it? Their Biogoji, the Biolante Godzilla. I think that one was pretty close to perfect. It's just like the head sculpts. The head sculpts are like the one thing because that's like also when it comes to their Godzilla versus Kong version, which is the 1962, I believe. Because that was the third film. I believe so. So that head sculpt isn't perfect. Could be better. It could be a bit better. But I think I still prefer kind of like proportion-wise and size-wise. You think compare like to some figure arts, I think it's just better. I think it's just taller, it's bulkier. I like it. It's a big boy. It's a big figure. So, yeah. Very nice. Gabe says that his favorite was the 2019 Burning Godzilla. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely valid. My favorite, I don't know what my favorite NECA. I do like the original 1954 Godzilla. That one is like nearly perfect. I just don't like that the eyes are looking forward. They should be looking sideways. But it is nice that he does look forward. What's my other NECA that I like? I do like their Kongs. Their Kongs are actually done really, really well. I do like their 2014 Godzilla. I think that one is like, in my opinion, like the best version of that version of Godzilla. Yes, I'm debating on getting the Haya, but I'm like, do I really need it? I'm okay for now. I'm fine. So yeah, we're about like variety there when it comes to Godzilla figures, especially for NECA. Could have used some more monsters though. Do you have any NECA Godzilla figures? I do, Gabe. Of course I do. But they're all up on their shelf, and I don't really want to interrupt the main show, which is about, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and, Ted Dibiase, the $1 Million Man. It's about these figures. But yeah. Oh, and they're not really in a great place for me to grab it. It's like nearly impossible for me to grab them right now, but they're up there. I just listed off all the ones I have. But yeah, getting back, so Ricky just has like some black, kind of like training pants essentially, I guess, and then has the boots, with the two toes on there, has like a little orangey brown color at the bottom, so very nice. A nice little thing there. But these do have pins, which is kind of weird that they could do the arms, but they didn't do the legs on these. Oh well, it's not really anything that's gonna have to do anything. But Gabe says I have to charge my tablet. You're good, Gabe. But yeah, nice little parts and pieces. But Gabe says it's at 9%. Bye. See you, Gabe. Thank you for joining the stream. Have a good day. You too, Gabe. Thank you for joining the live stream. Hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the rest of the channel if you feel free to. Yeah, but not a bad Ricky, at least straight out of the box. Feel like, yeah, the main thing is like his shoulders are kind of holding him back. But overall, still pretty good. I think we will. Okay, so we'll go over our, the articulation first. He does. I'm gonna just pull this off back here. Kind of scary, a bit scary to take off, but comes off. There, we do have a dumbbell at the top of the head with a ball, with a rod, and actually has a rod inside the body that has like a disc in there, so it just moves around on that rod. That's kind of weird to see. That's kind of limited and kind of wants to push back a bit, but we can switch out our heads and our hands real quick. Well, okay, we're going over articulation. So with the standard head, probably with all the other heads there, because they got the hair, that's flowing back there because Ricky had that long hair going, but he can look up about that far, just kind of forward essentially, looks down about that far, can do a bit of tilt, can do a bit of rotation if you have to move the face forward, but I'd be worried about scuffing the paint on it. But then at the shoulders, have your butterfly joints there, so he can get forward about that far, back that far, full rotation on the shoulders. You do hinge up that far, hinge back down, not really all the way to the body, but he is kind of a little thick back there, so he kind of actually stops him from going down there. Like, he's so buff, he can't even put his arms down. But he probably wasn't really that much. But then at the bicep, you got a swivel, have your double jointed pinless elbow there, very nice. And then on each of the hands, you have a rotation and a hinge in and out. Very good. And then at the actual torso, you just have joint there, another ball with a rod that goes into the body. So crunches forward. Now that far, my torso is splitting. It's kind of scary. Hinges back out that far, tilts side and can do a full rotation. Be careful with some scratching, I would say. But then you do also have a little bit, you do have a waist rotation there. And then at the legs, you can kick forward about that far. It's kind of a hard thing. You do have a drop down joint, so that's nice. So maybe it'll give you a bit of more range there. You can kick down, kick back. Not too bad. Kick out. Oh, can do the splits. Hold on. This is crazy. Look at that. That is a crazy amount of range. We get the feet. We'll do the whole thing real quick. These are both feet flat on the floor. Widest stance possible. Does have a little bit of a scuff on his pants, though. But the plastic is marred from the packaging. That sucks. But then at the thigh, you do rotate there. A double jointed knee there. Very smooth. Do have a rotation at the top of the boot. And then have a hinge back, hinge forward, and a kind of like an ankle rotation, not really a rocker. You just kind of rotate on the joint. But then you do have toe hinge that goes up that far, goes down that far. So not too shabby. So he does have a bit of articulation if you want him to do some crazy moves. I would say it's like the thing to be worried, yeah, a little bit worried about, I would say, is with the actual head kind of going on there. It doesn't seem to really want to move too much. So it might be something you want to heat up before you're really messing with. But even still, I'm getting it to stand pretty well. Like, look at that. It's on a toe joint. That's insane to kind of see. I'm going to put his thing right here. So nice. Nice little figure here. We're going to get this a little closer. In any case, we might just move this anyway. We'll get Ricky out of here. Excuse me, Rick. But yeah, well, we'll give Mr. Steamboat more regular position. Get him back here. Because then we do have our soft goods, but I think we will kind of show off all of our head sculpts specifically. I don't know about switching out hands today. We might just see, depending on what accessories they have and what they need. But at least for me, I think I'm going to be keeping... I think I'm going to keep these hands in. Besides the fact that we have to switch out the clothing, so we'll have to take out hands anyways. And they make these heads stay put. We really want to make sure that they're not going to go missing, but you have one that's a smiling, and then you have one that is a yelling. Very cool, and actually very, very nice sculpts. They actually look like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Where did that one piece go? Did it fall? It looks like it fell. I think I saw it fall. I don't know exactly where it went, but it did fall. What the heck? What the hey? Check under me, make sure. Well, I think I'm missing, what, an open hand? Or is that just, yeah. Okay, so I'm missing an open hand. I did see it fall. Excuse me while I fight with my mic. There it is. Okay. Excuse me. We're just going to get everything out. Okay. Might as well. We're going to get this out of here. Nice little packaging. I actually do like that, so I'm going to definitely be using this box, like for Ricky, in the future. Hold all his stuff in. Oh, my dog's barking. So yeah. So of course he comes packed in with these two kind of like these more kind of like grip kind of hands, but then he has two kind of splayed out palm, flat palm hands there. My dog's barking. And then we have two of the standard C grip hands, which are like the most useless hands in my opinion. And then we have a pair of fists in there. Very, very nice. So we will switch out all these pieces. I will give it a sec because I'm going to go check on my dog. So I'll be right back. So we're back. Hopefully, I don't think y'all heard that. I think I muted my mic, unless my mic was still going. I'll have to watch it later. So I have to remember right before the minute mark where my stuff is. But yeah, well, we're gonna switch out the. Well, we're gonna put on the gi comes with that has little logos there. I think it's like this, where he has the American flag with a Japanese flag style cloud, where the American flag is kind of like wrapped around it, and then you have like a punch kind of gi thing logo kanji. We're gonna take off our hands. Whoop. We're gonna get the actual jacket on first. And as you can see how the way I do it, I just have his arms back here. Put it on like so through the armholes. There we go. There's Ricky in his gi, albeit it's kind of, I'll admit, kind of big on him. Maybe his shoulders are kind of big. I don't know. Still not bad. He does have, do we have a belt? So he does wear a belt. Okay. So he will have the belt on. So that might help with it a little bit. So we're going to do that. He does come with a belt, which is just a thin kind of strip of cloth or polyester, whatever it is. Okay, let's see. I don't know how exactly to get it really like sit right. Kind of always struggle with these kind of belts. I kind of wish that they would just have just like a plastic belt. I could like peg into the torso and then you just have just the whole thing just wrap around them. Try to get it a little bit more tighter on there. More natural. Not really. Doesn't really work at all. Kind of too long on it, but kind of don't want to do another knot. But if I have to, I will. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I think it'll look better. Actually, kind of does. Even if the actual figure doesn't really want to work with it too much. Overall, it actually looks better. Trying to get a belt in the correct spot where it can look right. I don't know. I'm going to be struggling with this. I always struggle with these belts. I always struggle with these actual fabric belts on these figures, but there's Ricky. Belt and all. These have 3 loops on there. I know, not really perfect, but it's what I can kind of do. Not at the best how I want to imagine it, I guess. In all these years, they still can't really figure out how to make a belt kind of work that's just basic. That's okay. I prefer them maybe. I might prefer them with the soft goods, but I'll just have to kind of finagle with it and kind of fight with it. But we can do alternate heads. I guess we just pull up, and we can take off the bandana, thankfully, so we can have him with the bandana on each of those heads. We'll switch out. I think we'll do him have a more neutral before, so we're going to go the full-on screaming and see how that looks on this. There we go. The bandana on. Let's have the set for that. I actually want to make sure I'm not more on this plastic. There we go. Hold up. All right, I need to make sure I'm not going to mess up this. Okay, it's just molded weird, but it's accurate. It's fine. There we go. I guess we'll go ahead. We'll give him a left fist. How does he sit on his body? It says like this. He actually has multiple layers, but of course, this is WWE Mattel. You don't get multiple layers. You only get the one, but still. It's kind of, it just wants to ride down. It just does not fit on the torso that much. I might just have to redo this belt again. I'm not happy with it. That's because I just did it weird, but mainly it's because I just don't like this fabric. I don't really like these. These aren't really the best. They could be using different materials, and I think they'd be like a more successful time with these belts. Because honestly, I'm not really into it. Good thing the knots are actually kind of easy to get out, but we're gonna do this. First knot, really tight on there. Second knot, the opposite way. Well, no. Well, that wasn't even a knot. That's just our first cross. Then our second cross to actually make a knot. Our third one to kind of shape it out. Hopefully, looks good. Still might be kind of long, but improvement of some kind, I guess, in some regard, maybe. There we go. At least I think that this is a little bit better. This is honestly not the best, in my opinion. This is kind of iffy. Not perfect. But we're going to do... Oh, excuse me. This flat palm right hand. I guess I could do exclaiming. You know, like, I am Ricky, Mud Dragon, Steamboat. I'm gonna kick your butt. Pretty cool. Pretty neat. Or we can do even... God, that's so scary. Do him with a smiling head. His baby face look. This stupid belt is not... Still don't really work that well. Even after 3 knots, brother. I don't know. Okay, let's get this whole shebang on here. Get the whole gimmick. Headband and all. Okay. Where he's like waving. Hello. But he's a karate guy. He doesn't look too bad. He don't look too bad. He is kind of bulky in my opinion. I feel like I think of Ricky as kind of a little bit smaller, not as wide as this, and also need better cloth. It's not perfect here. I feel like it could be better, especially this belt. I need a different kind of belt, or I need to find out a better way to like have this applied on there. This isn't the greatest, but this is okay. I do like Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat. I think he's pretty cool. Just feel like it's, you guys kind of get, everything is kind of like kind of like adjustable. Like depending on the angle that you got to use, so you got to kind of like move everything, especially with the clothing. Kind of make those proportions work, and it is kind of tight on the torso there to kind of move everything. It does want to kind of split up a bit. So yeah, nice little Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I might just leave him like that. I think it looks pretty cool. Just like that. So yeah. Neat little figure. Not perfect. I feel like the torso is a little bit wide. The The shoulders are kind of small in proportion. And then soft goods are okay. It's just at the belt, but everything else kind of like hands and articulation and sculpt wise and yeah, kind of, and even like how the heads look. It's like you get 3 sets of hands and you get a bandana. I kind of wish you got a bandana each, just in case you might lose the one, and to also have that option if you want to have multiple of this guy. But it's like, but if you want to 2 or 3 with a bandana, or have one and then have one without, but that's the whole thing of having the bandanas. But yeah, cool nice little Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. It looks even better kind of back there in the background. So really, really nice. But I think we're going to go ahead, get to our Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Of course, as we went over the box before, where it just has this open part here, so we can just allow your little insert and keep it intact. Everybody has a prize. $1 Million Man. No, people. Cool. Then we have his little clamshell. That comes out here, this part. Down here, the little base. You have Ultimate Edition packaging there. And we got Mr. DiBiase right here with us, even with the $1 million title. Is that what it's called? What's the thing called? $1 million championship. I think that they did just call it a belt back in the day. Oh well. Hold on, water break. Make sure to drink your water, especially during these times. It's insane. But yeah. But I think we'll just go ahead, get DiBiase out of here. How do we... Oh, it's pegged in the back. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, there we go. Nice. Put that there, and we'll get DiBiase out here. Feet first, as we try to do. I didn't do it with Ricky, but oh, he's actually has stuff around his hands to make sure he doesn't go nowhere. Oh, and they actually are like wrapped around his hands. Okay, might be time to get out our snippers. Are snip, snip, snip. I'm gonna try to be careful. Anything you like, go over there. Zoom around the other hand too. No, it's around the cash. Nothing on the head though, but we do have a little thing that's wrapped around the money. We're gonna do that behind the camera. I don't want to mess up anything. Nice. Okay. Cool. This goes there. You go here. Here. More trash. Brown light plastic. Hopefully I didn't drop that other piece that was apparently on there. We'll see. Oh, more trash. More trash. Okay. So that's our plastic shelling. Shell right there. Gonna get Ted prettied up for the camera. We're gonna get our camera in frame. So there he is. Our, well, forget kind of actually how big these figures are. Excuse me. Kind of more like near kind of 7-inch. They're pretty tall figures. They work okay. They're big guys. But yeah, but here we have our ultimate Ted DiBiase here with his wad of cash, his fan of money. They're all like hundreds, it looks like. So pretty cool and nice. Nice kind of but likeness here. It does look like Ted DiBiase even has he has like a red hair kind of thing. I think that's kind of accurate. It was like a blondish red, but hairpiece isn't really on there very securely, so you can see a little gap right there on the side, but it's not too bad. That doesn't really bother me. It's just kind of doing like a generic kind of like a kind of face there. Has a nice shiny pink like a bow tie, has a little sequenced undershirt there. That's just on the front. We'll look at that in a minute. And then we have the actual jacket, which is kind of sequence like, has the dollar sign, has the collar with the pink to match the tie, and has the all black on there, and has a little silver buttons there to do to be like the wrist ones. Has a little pocket there, has the dollar sign in the back, very cool. Has the matching black pants with a pink streak there, and then that goes down to the kind of like just shoes. I guess so, because he does have his wrestling boots. So those are the shoes to his boots he has under there, because he's a wrestler. Because that's the whole thing. They got gimmicks, but in the end, they gotta wrestle. They gotta fight in a ring, in a match. Pretty cool. He's pretty neat. I do like the things there. And before we really get into the whole mechanics of this figure and everything that comes on and off of it, do want to look over his other accessories, because of course he comes packed in with a fist, a right holding hand, his fan of money, and just a more kind of just like generic face. But he also does come with the $1 million championship, the championship basically that he made. That's all just dollar signs there. So where he was kind of like, I made my own championship. But yes, and this was what? Yeah, what's this mold? Mold is from 2010. That's how long that they've been using this mold. Yeah, this mold is but it's like 15 years old. That's insane to think about. That's crazy. Oh, look at that. That's nuts. Yeah. Pretty neat. And you can probably actually, because it does have a hook on there, you can probably wrap it around Ted. He is the $1 million champion. Of course, with the actual fabric around, it might be kind of difficult. Might be more suited for the actual figures that are not wearing clothing. Might be more intended for that. We're getting kind of close. I'm gonna try to get this guy. There we go. There he is with the $1 million title there. The Tin asks, welcome, Tin. Yeah, welcome back. Says, is Marvel Legends Spider-Man Secret Wars good? I don't know yet. I have not opened it yet. We will probably do a stream of him and Captain America soon. I do still need to get that Captain America, even though they have that new one that's coming out with the Gamerverse version, but I do kind of want to still get that other one just to complete my original set of what I was going to get. So I don't know for sure. I know the body is just reuse of that one, of the Spider-Man, specifically the amazing, the fantasy one, but that one I have front and center is the Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends version, but it's the same mold, so I know it's going to be great. I just have to get it in hand, but we'll see at some point, Tim. Hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, but there's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, all his plastic glory with his championship. Looking actually pretty cool. I actually do like that look there, but then we'll get over his accessories. Have his little accessory box. Excuse me, Ted. We're trying to do your segment, but guess you don't want to. We're going to try and get your thing in here. It's a little more secure. And we're going to have you more just kind of like just standing there, being kind of like, I'm rich. I do not care what you have to say. I'm rich. But then have his little accessory box here with $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase accessories included inside. Wrapped up, and it is the same thing of what they did with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But mine actually does have a... Does it have a cover? It doesn't. Not for everything. It only has it for the actual heads, which is weird, but I guess also kind of makes sense. It also has another wad of cash, but at the front you have the first set of alternate hands, which is, I think, the same kind of open palm hands as Ricky. It looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like the same exact hand set. So open hands. We're going to move the box over. Have our alternate fist and grip hands. Same exact mold. And then taking off the cover tray to the second one to have, oh, excuse me, get these out. Have our extra wad cash, his fan cash there, and then a pair of kind of like these holding hands. I think this is more specifically for the fan cash, where he's like showing off all his money. He's kind of like, look at all the money I have. Wahaha. All that jazz. Yeah, but then his alternate heads, he has a more kind of like just kind of like just talking. Probably like just cutting a promo, just being kind of like, you see here, I have so much money, it doesn't even matter. And then this one, he's just like, yeah, he's full on laughing. He's like, I got so much money. I do not care. I am Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Blah, 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 blah. Or he's just like, I don't care what you gotta say. But we can, I think I will try to do, it's kind of, yeah, what I would do on the shelf. Look here, so we're going to switch out our head. We're going to switch out at least one of the hands, maybe another one. I'm going to do this hand. Let's see if this will work. Oh, yeah, and I didn't even notice. Okay. on the back of the bills too, you do have actual like a print of the back. That's actually really nice. I was just looking at them and being like, oh, wait a minute. We will switch out another hand just to do a full thing to see if we can do the full effect I think I want to do. Okay. We're dropping pieces. Everything is flip-flopping and dropping. Okay. On the alternate head. We'll do like this kind of look for him. Where he's got like all the money. Like, look at all this money I got. I'm the $1 million man. Ted Dibiase. Ha 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 ha. Very, very fun, honestly. I do actually like this a lot. That's pretty cool. I do want to try out his alternate head. Yeah, we can try that out. Where he's just like talking. Sorry, I just heard a beep outside. I was like, who the heck is outside my house? It's my neighbors. There we have, I guess that this is Ted doing his promo. Just like talking, being kind of like, I can buy up this whole arena, even if I wanted to. I got so much money that I could buy everyone here around on the house. But you know what? I won't, because I'm not cool. Because I'm a millionaire. And that's what millionaires do. Because we're bad guys. That's the whole point. That's the whole gimmick. Is that, yeah, he's got money. So he's just trying to buy himself wins every time. They're pretty neat. We will do we want to do, yeah, we're going to try to leave at least his alternate head. Yeah, his regular head on. Because we will take off the clothes in a minute, but we are going to go over his articulation. I think it's about the same as Ricky Steamboat, so we have the same head set up there. So looking up, a lot better. Looking down, too bad, side to side for rotation. A little bit better than the Dragon Steamboat. At the arms, I think you do have a butterfly joint. You can go back about that far, go forward that far. Do have a bicep swivel, have double jointed elbows there. It feels like his elbows are about the same as Ricky's, where they don't really want to come down at all, which kind of sucks there. But we are actually going to take off this belt real quick because I don't want to mess up this suit too much. But yeah, but then at the wrist, have these same kind of hands where they're in and out, rotation. At the torso, I'm pretty sure it's the same setup there. Upper torso and there. So with the suit, you can get that far back, not that far. Do side there, do a rotation, even have probably a waist rotation there too, just kind of stiff, but I don't want to force it at the leg. Kick out about that far, kick back, not too far out, kick out. Not really that far. I don't want to split the pants, so kind of just about there. Do have like a rotation there. Do have a double jointed knee, but it only goes about there. Do have a boot swivel. It's there. Do have a hinge back that far, hinge forward that far, and a forward facing, well, kind of not even. It's just a small little rocker, but does have toe joints that goes up and down. So a little bit of rocker, but not too bad. But we will do actually take off his suit, kind of get a feel of what's actually going on under the torso, because he actually did wrestle, and that's the whole thing with these. Oh yeah, he does also have like a little like an under belt there, so that's actually kind of nice if you want him more but more kind of open, but you can still see that he's wearing some nice clothing underneath. But we will take off his arms while we're doing this. There. Okay, so we're gonna get his arms just like how we did with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but going opposite because he comes packed in with his pieces there. So you take off the jacket, and he does have a just a forward place there. He does seem to have his arms down a little bit better than Ricky. But this still isn't bad. I guess we will just have to take off the head anyways. Hold up. I guess we take off. At least there it is elastic banding, so that's nice. And then we have a Velcro strap on the back of the pants. And on the back of the actual front of the shirt. I guess we can get these feet articulate down. So it'll make the pants a little easier to take off. We do have, we do have some detail underneath here. But of course, $1 Million Man did have some trunks. Had a whole wrestling look, because he was in the ring, he was a wrestler. There we go. Even has like full on like knee pads. What the heck? There he is. Get him. And with his open mouth head, just do the more casual. We're going to do the full open hands, or our, like our palm, flat palm hands on each side with this guy. Okay, I'm trying to just see what's going on here, see what I can assess. Okay. I don't know what the good, kind of like like a wrestling pose, besides just kind of like crouched down, being kind of like, all right, guess we're gonna fight. There he is there. I guess that's not too bad. In his gear and everything. Move everything to the side, at least for now. we can see him. So with Ted DiBiase on the actual torso, I think it's mostly, I think, actually new. This actually does look a little bit different. And of course, you do have a little bit of hair paint right there. Not too bad. You do have some wrist tape on the wrist there. And then he has his black trunks with his $ logo on either side. Nice little piece there. Has the bare legs, has the little knee pads on there. Nice touch. And then has these black boots with the white laces and then the white bottom. So apparently, I guess this is kind of accurate to what he would wear in the ring. More kind of basic with the actual trunks going on there. But honestly, I think he looks pretty good. I'll have to look at more footage of DiBiase. But this is not a bad size. This feels proportionate. This feels pretty right. And especially but with the suit, I think he looks way cooler. Because, because I think it makes him look even bigger and more imposing. But yeah, really, really good. I will go take a quick break, go check on some stuff. I should be back momentarily, but wow, I'll do that. Look at Dibiase. I'll be right back. All right, so we are back. Thank you for a little pause there. Always something to do, always something to check on, especially when I'm home alone with the dog. He's doing well. So, but yeah, here's Ted, Mr. DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and all his wrestling gear glory. But in any case, I think at least we're gonna do him with the $1 Million Championship. Kind of wish he came with the world title when he became champ, but they probably have a actual figure for that. I don't have it. But yeah, so we're gonna get him on there. Does sit kind of loosely on the body. Doesn't really attach there. I think it is specifically more supposed to be on the actual, the figure with the fabric on. But if I can do a little bit tighter, I don't think I can really get it going any more than that. I don't think I really have a chance. I can't really put too much on these ones. Yeah, they don't really grab on with the actual holes and the actual $signs. So I kind of wish that that there's one more, yeah, kind of plug to kind of make it a little bit tighter to work on the actual figure a little bit more. But I think it makes more sense if he had the championship as he's wearing the suit, because I think that's mainly when he wore it a lot of the times. Or, you know, you can have him kind of holding it up, where he's kind of like he's showing it off, like he's like, yeah, you didn't win my championship, my $1 million championship. The championship that I made up, and that LA Knight, I think, won. And someone else. Forget who it was. Oh, it was freaking Luna Moon. What's his name? Rick Grimes. I think that's his name. I think that was his name, because he was also like that $1 million kind of gimmick where he was just like a rich Southern guy. But then he had Ted DiBiase. It was pretty neat. It was actually pretty cool. He's a cool guy. Well, not really Ted technically. He doesn't pay his taxes, but you know, or Junior, but you know, but he's living the gimmick, being $1 million man. I guess pay your taxes, millionaire, billionaire, jerks, whatever. But we're gonna get him. Hold another. Do we want to do I think we're gonna get him. Okay, we're gonna get his whole gimmick back on, because I think it's just better for him. I think he looks better that way. Ricky, we could have him without it, but I think I might prefer him with the jacket as well. So we're gonna keep all our soft goods on. Get everything back on here. Kind of might prefer to take off these knee pads, but they're kind of on there, so I'm not gonna force it too much. There we go. All right. Now we're gonna get the shirt on. Yeah, that kind of actually gets tucked inside. So probably like the shirt should probably technically go on first, I guess. Also Velcroed. If I can get the right side. There we go. Even like just but DiBiase and this look is kind of like ridiculous, but I love it. It kind of makes sense. It's like that Chippendales kind of thing. But you know, it's like but he's like a big, like a buff guy. So kind of makes sense, I guess. And he's supposed to be more athletic. Needs that breathable room. Getting his jacket on now, just like how we did Ricky. Dragon Steamboat up there. Get this kind of more tucked in the front. This Velcroed around there. This Velcro around here. Let's pull it and tuck it down just how you need, probably. And I'm going to put the championship back on him because I think that's what I prefer. Having all the gimmicks. Belt is still kind of tight on the body, but that makes sense. Perfectly fit for him. Come on. I had it before. I can get it now. I can. Excuse me, I'm still working on this belt, trying to get it onto this figure. I do prefer this, though. I do prefer a plastic belt, I think, compared to actual fabric one. How they did with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I keep just saying Ricky. Yeah, like they did with Steamboat. I should just call him Steamboat. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do him like how we just had him in the full gimmick. Laughing it up. Got his money. Could just do him. I think we can just do him just straight laughing. If I can get his suit to keep working with me. It's kind of getting away from me. This hand. Get this hand. I kind of wish that his laughing head here, yeah, like had closed eyes, or that they would have included an extra head that had the closed eyes with the laughing head. So I feel like that's more of the iconic look here. Where it's just like, look at all my money. Look at all this power I got. Kind of do want to have him with his full out cash. I mean, debating on it. I might just, no. But we'll do 1 watt of cash, but we'll do with the right hands, with the correct hand to hold this. If you're going to hold a thing of cash, you got to hold it right. Just fully just like showing off, being kind of like, look at all this stuff I got. I got so much money. I got so much winning. I got great clothing. I'm doing great. And he is great. He's a pretty great figure. And then even next to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, have your era of guys going on here. Different kind of looks, different characters, different gimmicks, different wrestlers. But great performers and great entertainers. Ricky was definitely more of, I guess, the actual, like, your classic, like, yeah, he was just like your Japanese, yeah, just kung fu type character. But yeah, it's kind of like he was like great and he was really cool. He just looks awesome, and I love the all black. I do like his more colorful outfits. I think more. I think I would have liked. Yeah, I would like to see like the whole like the dragon entrance gear. That would be pretty cool. And then even like have one that has like different colors, but there probably is one somewhere out there. I'm not really sure. Not really in Ultimates, I don't think, but yeah, but cool. Awesome figures. And I do like yeah, the Ted DiBiase. Especially I think that they put more effort into it. I like the clothing on him, looks pretty good. It makes him look bigger and bulkier, and I think that's just how I envision him. I do like the different color combinations with the bright pink on there, and then having yeah, the $1,000,000 yeah, the championship and the wad of cash, and then especially like his head sculpts are really well done. And then like yeah, but Ricky's yeah, but Steamboat, his head sculpts are like perfect too. Yeah, they look exactly like him. I kind of wish he came with something else, like some kind of weapon of some kind, because just the clothing and just like the belt and the bandana, technically, if you want to count that as an extra accessory, isn't really much else for me. And I feel like they could have included, I don't know, Intercontinental Championship or something, like when he won it from Macho Man, but I don't know if this was his look for that era. Or, you know, but any other like championship that he won, like during, yeah, kind of this time, if he did. Or if he had like technical like weapons, like nunchucks or like a bow staff or something. But I can get it from, yeah, like any of like my NECA, yeah, kind of like my foot soldier figures, so I can just piece together if I want to do something more to spruce him up, or I'll do some research and see what he actually did with this look here. But yeah, overall, a nice little set. I did love the boxes. I do love that they're all kind of like collector friendly, that you can save it all and have all your parts and pieces in different, yeah, like configurations. So very, very nice. And awesome. Awesome. Yeah, kind of like, yeah, yeah, kind of like box set and kind of like how they did this. And also, you know, I got this at Ollie's for like $22, a steal. A steal of a set. It definitely feels worth the price. Yeah, like of $22 compared to like I think like 50 or 60 how this set went originally, but you know, that's what Ollie's is for. So go check out your Ollie's. See, yeah, like yeah, if you have an Ollie's. But check it out and see what's out there. Really, really fun. Yeah, but now we can move on to our comparisons. We're gonna move all of our accessories out of here. I'll wipe off the table. Always something. Get our guys back here a bit. We'll do our double comparisons, and we don't have yeah, we don't really have that many comparisons this time around. I don't really have a lot of time to be doing this stream, even though like we're actually making good time. So, but yeah, but we're first going to do our first, yeah, like a couple of our ultimates, and then a couple other figures, and then another Ultimate, and then, you know, just do all of our wrestling. What to kind of do, yeah, kind of do my favorite. So first, as y'all saw on the thumbnail, I had two other Ultimates, yeah, that are here. So we're gonna do Macho Man, specifically from the NWO, yeah, that I have. One of my favorite looks of Macho, to be honest. I love the black and white. And of course, this was yeah, later, yeah, like in WCW, but I still think he was pretty great here. And one of my favorite Ultimates, and honestly, it's like my favorite, yeah, like, yeah, and honestly, it's like the Macho Man is my favorite wrestler, I think, of all time. Kind of like just iconic. An iconic person, an iconic character. It's, yeah, a great wrestler, and man, he just looks so goddamn cool with all those cool looks and costumes. But then my second favorite Ultimate is the Ultimate Warrior. This was like their third or fourth one. I forget which one this was. This might have been during WCW. No, this was kind of like a little bit later Warrior in the WWF. And I did actually switch out his hands, yeah, with a Marvel Legends. Because I thought that the smaller hands would kind of work better with the proportions. I don't know. Now that I'm seeing it, they might be just too small, so I might switch back the original hands. But I do like the small hands with them, though. I think it kind of works. But yeah, cool little figures, and you can see what they all have going for them. All very different. I think I like the more like the sculpted figures better, but I do really like the Ted DiBiase. I'll have to see with Ricky. I think he's like the outlier for me, because I really just want like the DiBiase, because that's a crazy character, big bombastic during that era. But we'll have to see. I need to get another Macho. I need me like a classic Macho Man at some point, because this Macho is pretty good, but we still got some where to go. But then gonna do our last Ultimate that I have of the WWE. I have Mr. T. I think this is technically from WrestleMania 1 or 2. Can't really remember. He does have some scrapes on his face, so I'll have to clean that up. There he is. I kind of have him. He's yeah, like I have him with the robe on, but then I put on some, who is it? Can't remember. Super Action stuff, I think it is. I put his boxing gloves on here because him and Roddy Piper had that boxing match, I believe. I don't know if he had this robe during that time, but I gave him these boxing gloves because I thought it looked perfect for him. But another pretty good, like an Ultimate figure. Pretty fun. And then one that is another wrestling figure. Yeah, she is a WCW figure, but one I just kind of have as my generic, like my woman in suit. You have Stacy Keibler. I think that's her name. There she is, just there. It's like she might work with the $1 Million Man. She's mainly been with my Penguin for a bit. Yeah, from McFarlane. Yeah, from the Batman movie. Nice little look there, and he still kind of works with them. She doesn't really too much, but you know, you can probably make it work out. Because she is not an Ultimate figure. I think that she was just a regular mainline release there, but we'll put her back here. And then our last figure we have for comparison is Erwin R. Shyster. This is IRS. This is definitely a more basic figure and a much older figure, because this is way before they did like the face print tech. Yeah, this is like years ago. So yeah, and he doesn't have the glasses because I've just been using them for another figure because that's kind of what I got this for, and also for the suitcase as well because he had that. But I need to get a new IRS at some point. Hopefully they'll be making one. But he's all right. He's fine. He's just there. He's just as like my generic, like my heavy. Honestly, he needs to have like a sledgehammer or something. But yeah, nothing really much else. I think besides that, I think these guys look pretty good. I think that Ted is definitely like the outlier here, Mr. Dibiase. It's probably my favorite of this set. But I think that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat also is, is pretty good. He's pretty nice. Not bad. Looking at all. Could just use with some little minor tweaks, I think, here and there. What do we want to do here? We'll do Mr. T here. Well, we're going to do Warrior here, Mr. T here. Here we'll do Macho. Here. Get IRS here because he does go with Ted DiBiase. I totally forgot about that they were part of the $1 million corporation or whatever that they were called. Nice, and then we'll just get Stacy in there for fun. But yeah, there's all of our WWE, WWF, and WCW wrestling figures. So pretty nice. Yeah, they're pretty nice. It's like I definitely Mr. T. No. His glove scratched now. Probably the other one did though. Oh, it's been scratched. I'll have to work on them, but we'll see in due time. And these gloves don't really fit on exactly. I kind of have to like force them, push on there, but they're not really meant to go on this figure. They're kind of just more generic, but they work. They work so good, and he looks so cool with them. So I'm keeping Mr. T like this. Really, really nice. Really, really cool figures. Definitely want to maybe get a couple more. I kind of want to at least, okay. Of course, at some point, I got to get a Hogan. I've been kind of just like, I'll get one when I want to, which is not really anytime soon. But if I see a good one at some point, I'll probably pick it up. But yes, but like I've said before, I definitely want to get another Macho Man. Want to get probably a Rowdy Piper. Probably like that Dusty Rhodes that's been out for a bit. I need to get that. That one looks pretty cool. So that's something to do. Like to hunt for. Hopefully he's still available somewhere. I don't even know if he is. But still pretty cool. Do we want to do any other comparisons? Is there anyone want to see anything? I guess if we want to do, okay, we're gonna do our Marvel Legends Peter Parker. Do kind of like a size comparison to kind of like more true 6-inch. Yeah, and these guys are kind of big. See, like next to DiBiase, how much he sizes up to him. He's like a full, like a inch taller. So these guys are meant to be big, but I think kind of like in the day then, guys were kind of, they were kind of big. Kind of like the whole point of them. To be big dudes. Is there anything else? Do I got other Mattel? I didn't even think about that. Because I do have like Joker and a Robin, a Batman, probably. I don't really want to get those out right now. We're already like 2 hours, 2 hours and 11 minutes in. Well, nearly 11 minutes into the stream, and kind of how far I wanted to go with it. So yeah. So cool figures. Really neat. But yeah. Next week, of course, is gonna be on the 4th of July. So I might have a plan for that. I'll have to see what goes down, what's going on. I'm gonna see where I'm at, what I'm feeling, because also on July 2nd, Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out. So I'm kind of getting excited for that because I just recently finished my Jurassic World marathon with my friends. So I'm getting excited for that to come out on July 2nd. So I'm kind of I'm looking at the dinosaur figures, seeing if I want to pick up anything, but I don't really have space for it. So it's like, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But now is like the relevant time to get it. We're going to see, because they're big figures. They're really big. But I kind of want to get as accurate size as possible. But I don't know how much. Yeah, it's like, I don't know how much space I really actually have. So we'll have to just see what goes on. We'll look around and we'll kind of figure out what I can work with and what I can kind of do here. But yeah, in any case, hope y'all have enjoyed the live stream. So look forward to next week, and and be on the lookout for we're gonna do our little run through of these guys, our little show off, like our 360 thing tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that video. Hopefully I can get it done. Probably won't have time, but we'll kind of just see what goes on. I'm gonna try to do it. We'll see. But yeah, hope y'all have enjoyed. I really like these figures. They look so cool. But yeah, be sure, like, comment what you want to see next time, what you want to see in general on the channel. And be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. It helps. I want to, at least, I think my goal is to get to like 500 by the end of the year. So that would be nice. So let's see if we can do that. That would be insane. So yeah. And be sure to check out the Instagram where I post just more videos. And hopefully at some point I'll be posting more pictures sooner or later. I've been sitting on some. I just haven't had the time to post them. Sorry, y'all. But it's just how it goes. We all have a good one. Be cool. Do good. Do your best. Be you. Drink your water. Do all that good stuff. I think I shall see y'all later. Goodbye.